Okay, so have you ever had that feeling like you stumble upon a story and it kind of sneaks up on you with this like warmth and charm, but then it throws in these like little unexpected twists that make you just want to keep reading?
Yeah, totally. Like those page turners that you just can't put down.
Exactly. It's like you get so invested in finding out what happens next. And today we're going to dive into one of those books that seems to have captured that feeling for a lot of readers. We're talking about Stay for Love by Catherine Carroll.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've seen that one around. It's the first in a series, right? Hearts of Summit.
You got it.
Yeah.
The Hearts of Summit series. And today, we're not just looking at the plot. We're really trying to like dissect what makes this book tick based on, what the publisher, what the book, but what readers are all saying about it.
Right, like getting into the DNA of the book, kinda.
Exactly. And I think a good place to start is by looking at the official descriptions. What are they putting out there to draw readers in?
Makes sense. We've got to start with the blueprint, the author's and the publisher's intentions before we see how those intentions landed with the readers.
Totally. So the publisher's description introduces us to Officer Max Brody, and you can tell right off the bat he's carrying some baggage.
Yeah.
A past relationship left him with some physical and emotional scars, and now he's just super focused on his work and taking care of his grandfather.
Hmm.
Seems like he's built a solid life, maybe a little lonely, but solid.
Yeah, he's found his comfort zone, his equilibrium, and he's not really looking to rock the boat.
Exactly. And then enter Ava Barton and her son. They arrive in this small Michigan town with a bit of mystery surrounding them.
Ah, the classic arrival of the intriguing stranger.
Right. And Ava, she's carrying her own weight too. She's dealing with the loss of her mother, and on top of that, a hurricane just destroyed her business.
Wow, talk about a rough patch.
So her plan is to just lay low in this town, hoping to go unnoticed. She's looking for a haven, a place to just catch her breath.
So she's actively trying to avoid attention, while Max is kind of a pillar of the community, a known figure. An interesting contrast already.
Totally. And then, of course, fate steps in, or maybe it's the author's clever plotting. But a car accident throws Ava and her son into Max's world, forcing them to spend time together.
The classic meet cute with a bit of a twist.
Exactly. And then the publisher poses those big questions. Can Max convince Ava to stay to see a future within a family?
Mm.
And will Ava see God's plan in their meeting?
Oh, so it's definitely got that faith element woven into it, from what you're saying.
Yes, definitely. And it really emphasizes this idea of destiny and finding love in the most unexpected ways.
I like that.
Now, the BookBub description gets straight to the point. It calls the book a heartfelt, faith-filled romance. Boom, right there, you know what you're getting into. And it reiterates Max's avoidance of romantic relationships and links it directly to Ava's arrival after the accident.
So they both really highlight that unexpected meeting as the catalyst.
Right, and BookBub really emphasizes how Ava and her son are just planning to be in this small town temporarily, how she has this intention to move on eventually.
Yeah.
But then it ends with this little tease that Max could be the one to unravel her carefully laid plans.
Ooh, I like that. A little bit of foreshadowing there, a hint at the potential disruption.
It's so good.
Right. Okay, so both descriptions, one's more detailed, one's more concise, but they both highlight those key elements. The unexpected meeting Max, resisting romance, Ava's temporary plans, and the potential for a deep connection, maybe even something guided by faith. They both set the stage for a story where life throws these two together in surprising ways and love might just be the outcome.
Right, and I think it's so interesting to see how that actually played out with the readers themselves.
Totally, because the blueprint is one thing, but what about the finished house?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when it comes to Stay for Love, the reader response has been overwhelmingly positive. We're talking a flood of 5-star reviews, which tells me something about this story really resonated with people.
Absolutely, 5-star reviews across the board. That's a good sign for sure. So what were the common threads in those reviews? What really stood out to readers?
Well, one of the things that popped up again and again was how heartwarming and sweet the romance was. Readers were using words like wonderful, sweet, heartwarming, tender to describe it. And a lot of them said they couldn't put the book down, like they were completely hooked on Max and Ava's story.
That's that feeling we were talking about at the beginning, right? The kind of book you just have to keep reading to see what happens next.
Totally. And it wasn't just a simple, predictable romance either. Several readers mentioned unexpected elements, a surprise twist, or even a mystery surrounding Ava that kept them guessing. One reviewer even admitted that they normally skip to the end of books, but they couldn't bring themselves to do it with this one because they were so caught up in figuring out Ava's story.
So it sounds like the author did a good job of balancing the romance with a little bit of suspense.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the characters themselves seem to have really resonated with readers. They found them relatable and likable, and Ava's son Oliver, he was a real hit. One reviewer even called him adorable and mentioned his love for art.
Aw, that's sweet. It's always nice when a child character adds to the story's warmth, and those genuine character connections make a big difference for readers, don't they?
Absolutely. And of course, being the first in the Hearts of Summit series, faith plays a big role in this story. A lot of reviewers specifically called it a clean Christian romance and mentioned the Christian undertone. One reader even said they were so grateful to find books that God approves of.
It sounds like the author really tapped into something meaningful for those readers who are looking for stories that align with their faith.
Yeah, definitely. And the idea of God working in the characters' lives, this redemptive plan, as some reviewers called it, that seemed to resonate really strongly.
It makes you wonder how faith might play out in the rest of the series, right?
Hmm. I'm curious about that too. And another thing that got a lot of praise was the setting the small town atmosphere, and especially the descriptions of Michigan during Christmas time.
Oh, that sounds cozy.
Right. Many readers said it created this warm Hallmark movie kind of feel. And one reviewer even said reading the book was like visiting Michigan in the snow.
Oh, that's lovely. A well-described setting can really transport. You can't, especially during a special time of year like Christmas. It adds another layer of warmth and charm to the story.
Exactly. And, it's always a good sign when readers talk about experiencing strong emotions while reading. Several readers admitted to shedding some happy tears, and one even called it a must-read, can't-put-down book, and advised others to keep tissues handy.
Wow, that's powerful. It sounds like the author really knows how to pull at the heartstrings.
And it seems like readers really connected with this world and these characters because a lot of them expressed a desire for more stories set in the Hearts of Summit. They want to know what happens next. They feel like these characters have become friends they want to check in on.
Ah, that's great. When a book makes you feel like you're part of the community and leaves you wanting more, that's a testament to the author's skill in creating a world that feels real and inviting.
Exactly. And lastly, we can't forget the frequent mentions of the book being clean and appropriate. It seems like that was a big draw for a lot of readers, especially considering the whole faith-filled aspect we talked about.
Right, it aligns with what those readers are looking for in their entertainment.
So it seems like Stay for Love has really hit the mark. Both the official descriptions and the overwhelmingly positive reader reviews paint a picture of a deeply engaging and heartwarming story with a healthy dose of sweetness, a touch of mystery, relatable characters, and a charming small-town setting, all wrapped up in a framework of faith.
Exactly. It's like the author took all these appealing elements and wove them together seamlessly to create a story that not only entertains, but also resonates on an emotional and spiritual level.
To sum it all up, Stay for Love showcases how unexpected encounters can lead to those really deep connections, all while exploring themes of faith and the possibility of finding love and family where you least expect it.
Beautifully put. And with that in mind, what aspect of Ava and Max's journey do you think you'd find most compelling? And what about you as a listener? What piques your curiosity about this Hearts of Summit series? Is it the romance, the mystery, the setting, or perhaps the exploration of faith? We'd love to hear your thoughts.